Okay, so today we're learning about sales tax and tip. So sales tax is what you pay whenever you go to a store, correct? So say I go to the store and I want to buy a new outfit. I'm going to have to pay sales tax on that outfit. A tip, that's what we give when we go to a restaurant and we tip our server, right? Or say you go get your hair cut and you tip your hairdresser, okay? So we're going to learn how to figure out our total bill with sales tax or with a tip or with both, okay? So first of all, sales tax, it's an additional amount of money of money that is charged on items that people buy. Okay. So it's an additional amount of money that's charged on items that you buy. The total cost that you pay to that store is found by adding the regular price plus that sales tax. So the total cost is the regular price plus the sales tax. Okay, so let's look at an example. So say that we want to buy a DVD player, and it costs $140. Can't talk today. We know that whenever we buy something, there's going to be a sales tax added onto that. So in this case, the sales tax is going to be 5.75%. Does anybody know what the sales tax for Alabaster is? 9%. So it's 9 cents on every dollar. Yes, 5.75% is the sales tax here. So what we want to do is we want to find the total cost. Total cost. So we're not finding how much the sales tax is. We're finding what the total cost that we are going to buy that DVD player for. Okay. So I know that the sales tax is 5.75% of the original price. So does anybody remember what of means? Like, what operation does it mean? It means to multiply, right? So this tells me that I'm going to be multiplying. So what I'm actually multiplying is just the percent times the regular cost. So 5.75% times $140. When we were doing simple interest, we changed that percent to a decimal, okay? We are just going to use our calculators now, and we're going to use the percent button, because I think that's a little bit easier for all of you. So, if you look on your calculator.
Can I get a calculator?
Yes. If you look on your calculator, the open parenthesis button, the left parenthesis button right here, so above the number 8, right above that button there is a blue percent sign. So that means that you have to hit second and then the parenthesis button in order to get the percent. Okay? So how we're going to plug this in our calculator is we're multiplying 5.75% times 140. So 5.75 second parenthesis times 140. It's $140. Okay, to Corey. My answer is $8.05. Okay, so that tells me that the sales tax that I'm paying is $8.05. That does not tell me how much I'm paying the store. That simply just says that's how much tax I have to add to that regular cost. Okay? So to find the total cost, we are adding the original cost, which in this case was $140, plus the sales tax that we just found, which is $8.05. Okay. So when I add those two together, I get $148.05. Okay. So that is how much I am paying for the DVD player in total. Remember, whenever we're dealing with tax or tip, it's money. It's money that we're dealing with, right? So that means you'll be rounding to 2 decimal places, always. Questions on that? Okay, let's look at another example. So say I want to buy a sweatshirt and it costs $42. Pretty expensive sweatshirt. Okay. The sales tax for that store is 5.5%. I want to find the total cost. Okay, so the first thing that I'm doing is I'm finding out how much sales tax I'm actually having to buy. So I'm multiplying my regular cost, which is $42, times 5.5%. How can I write 5.5 as a decimal? 5.5. So 0.5 is 1/2, so 5.5.
Can you still just put 1/2?
You just have to type it in as a mixed number. I don't know how to type in mixed numbers on my calculator, but if you know how to. That's just a bunch of times that you have to type. So it's a lot easier and quicker to just type 5.5, right? We should all know that 1/2 is 0.5. We've had those fractions to decimal quiz tests, actually. We should all know that 1/2 is 0.5. So somebody tell me what 42 times 5.5% is. Faith. That's what it told me. Sales tax is 5.5%. So I just changed the 5.5 to a decimal, 5.5. What do I get, Faith? Does everybody agree? So my sales tax is $2.31, but that's not how much I'm actually paying for the total sweatshirt, right? I've got to find how much, yeah, me too. I've got to find out how much I'm paying in total. So I'm going to add my original cost, which is $42, plus the sales tax, which I just found, which is $2.31. So what is it? Good. $44.31. That's how much I'm paying to the store for that sweatshirt. Okay. Any questions on that example? Okay, so what about tip now? So when we go to a restaurant and at the end of our meal, we get the bill and it has a little line down there where it tells you can put a tip, right? So we're going to find out how we can calculate the tip and how much we can, or how we can include however much we want to pay for that tip and then find out the total bill.
So tip is just a different thing?
We're going to find it basically the same way. It's just different than sales tax. Okay. So does anybody know what another word for tip is? Starts with a G.
Yeah, exactly.
Giving nothing for being nice.
Wait, don't say it, don't say it.
They didn't have to come back to us. They could have quit the job.
Grower?
Graduate.
Gratuity. Okay.
Never heard that.
Another word for tip is gratuity. Okay, so what is a tip? It's a guys. Yes. So it's a small amount that you give in return for some type of service. Okay. So when we go to a restaurant and we tip our waiter, it's because they served our food. They were bringing us our food, taking care of us, so we're giving them money in return for that service of them serving our food. Okay. So it's a small amount of money. Oops. We'll pick this back up when we come back from lunch. Okay, so back to tip. It's a small amount of money in return for a service. So a tip is a small amount of money in return for a service. And just like tax, the total cost is the regular price plus the tip. So we're going to be finding it the same way. Only if we're adding tip and sales tax. Okay. So we're about to find out. So let's look at example number 1. So a customer wants to tip 15% of the bill. And the bill is $35. So we're tipping 15% of the $35 bill. And then, of course, we want to find what the total is. So just like when we were dealing with tax, we have to find out what the tip is actually going to be. So how much that tip is going to be. So if it's 15% of the $35 bill, we're just multiplying those two together. So 15% times $35. So remember, we're using our percent button in our calculator. So 15% times $35 tells me that the tip is going to be $5.25. So this is the tip. Okay. But now I need to find out how much I'm actually paying. So in total, how much I'm paying. So how do you think I'm going to find that? I'm going to add the two together. So the original, which is $35, plus the tip, which is $5.25. Good. That gives me a total of $40.25.
Miss Weathers,
Yes, ma'am.
is Macy back?
Yes, ma'am.
She needs to go to 119.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm. So the total cost is $40.25. So that's my regular bill, including the 15% tip. Any questions on that? Okay, so let's look at one more example. So let's say I'm going to get my hair cut and it's going to cost $20. There's also going to be sales tax on top of that. So the sales tax is 4.75%. And then, of course, I need to tip her as well. So the tip is going to be 15%. I want to find out if $25 is enough to pay this bill. So all I have is $25. So I want to make sure before I go that I've got enough money. It's 4.75. I have $25, so I'm trying to find out if I have enough money to pay for all this. Huh? I'm giving that to you. I'm telling you that $25 is how much I have in my wallet, and then I'm going to go get a haircut for $20, and I've got these two taxes and tip. So the question is $25 enough to pay the bill? Okay, so that's what I'm trying to answer. So I've got two different percents. I've got a 4.75% sale tax, and then I've got a 15% tip. So I want to go ahead and add those together so that I can find what the tip and tax is going to be. Okay, so I just want to add 4.75% and 15%. And of course, remember, this is my tax and this is my tip. So you're adding those two together. Okay, I'm not adding it as a percent. I'm just adding those two numbers together. I'm adding 4.75 and 15. So I have a total percentage that I'm going to take of that bill. There we go. 19.75%.
So don't put this percent in.
No. We're adding the tax and the tip to find a total percent that I'm going to get of the bill. So now I know that I have to add 19.75% to my $20 haircut. But first, I need to find out what is 19.75% of $20. Okay? So this is when we're multiplying. Remember, 19.75% of the original price of $20. So of tells me that I'm multiplying. 19.75% times my total hair, or my cost of the haircut, which is $20. So what do I get? $3. Oh wait, I forgot to put my percent in. 19.7% times 20. $3.94.
It's supposed to be 75.
Oh, 19.75% times 20. There we go. $3.95. So the the first thing I did was I added up my percentages, so my tax and my tip, to find a total percent of what I need to take of that haircut cost. Okay. So now, in order to find my total, how much I'm paying, what am I doing? Add what? 20 and what? 3.95. The tip and the tax, which is what I just found here. Okay. So what does that give me?
$23.95.
Good. $23.95. So, if I have $25 in my wallet, is that enough to pay the bill?
Yes.
Yes. So this was the total. And I do have enough money. Okay. Questions? No questions? Okay. Your homework is page 353, numbers 3 through 15. You all should be able to finish this before you leave class. So everybody should have a piece of paper and your book out on your desk getting started.
So tax is something we're going to use.